Hey everybody, Scorpion here. So do you know how to figure up your solar panels and what you're producing by those and know what the max is you can put into an inverter and that kind of thing? If not, you may want to stick around for this video. Alright, so we'll start with figuring your solar panels for your system. So I have the system that I'm building is a 8,000 watt is the max you can do as an input. Alright, with that said, you need like a 1.5% surge protection. So that you need that buffer of 1.5% of that 8,000 to make sure that you don't surge your inverter and blow it up. So if you take 8,000 times 0, okay, times 0.015, you end up with 120 watts. Alright. So I need at least 120 watts between what I'm producing and the max that it'll take. So looking at your panels, there's different ideas for everybody. Some people may need to pay more money. They may have less space. It all depends upon your situation. Me, I've got farmland. I've got plenty of backyard space. So I'm going to put out whatever is the cheapest for me. With that said, your 450 watt panels, to build to that 8,000 watt system, you're looking at 17 panels. If you go over 17 panels, well, 17 panels gives you 7,650 watts. If you add another 450 watts to that, you're over 8,000 watts. So you don't want to do that. 450 watt panels cost you $210 each. That's $3,570 plus tax, shipping, whatever else. 400 watt panels times 19 gives you 7,600 watts. If you add another one, you're sitting on 8,000 watts. That does not leave that 120 watt buffer for surges. So you can't do that. So you stop at 19 panels. They're $185 a piece. That's $3,515. Come down to the 390 watt panels times 20 panels gives you 7,800 watts. The next panel, if you went to 21, would put you over the 8,000 watts, which is your max input. So you have to stop at 7,800. You still have the 120 watt buffer up here for power surges with another 80 watts extra. So you have a 200 watt buffer there for power surges. Good chance you're never going to get a power surge that's going to burn your system or your inverter. So 20 panels at $150 a piece is $3,000 plus tax, shipping, whatever. Alright. So I've got the room to put 20 panels out and save $515 to $570 and be producing more power. You know, you're 150 watts higher here, you're 200 watts higher here, and still have the correct buffer. So this is going to be the route I go. I'm going to take 390 watt panels at 20 panels at $150 a piece. It's cheaper and it produces more power. It just takes up a little bit more space. Now if you live in a city, you're probably going to want 450 watt panels because it takes up less space. You're going to have 3 less panels. But it's going to cost you $570 more. And you're going to be producing less power. Food for thought, just things you need to look at when you're building your system. I come up with the 8,000 watt because my inverter is a 8,000 watt in, 6,000 watt out that I'm looking at. So I cannot go over the 8,000 watt input. And you need to leave that buffer for power surges, just as a safety. So that's kind of your panel stuff. That's how to figure your panels and that kind of thing. So Hope that helps y'all on figuring your panels. You need to just decide what size system you're going with. Now, you can throw in a 8,000 watt, in and a 6,000 watt out inverter, and you don't have to max it on your panels. You don't have to, okay? I just know I'm going to need more than that in the future, so I'm trying to build me a single setup, everything all in one, buy it all at once, ship to me, to give me a good start on my power bill. Hopefully take care of a third to a half of my power bill. So we're going to see, and that's basically what I'm working on and looking at. So this is how you figure your panels. You need to figure how much power you need, which I need way more than what I'm going to get. And I'm going to show you the breakdown on how to figure up your power and that kind of thing, too. So, but just know if you're on an 8,000 watt in, then your panels need to come up to less than that and leave a 120 watt buffer. That's the biggest thing you need to do. And I'm going to go with what takes up more space but costs less money, and I end up with more wattage. I'm closer to that 8,000.